confidence and positivity and building self-esteem. I think I remember from her presentation, she gave us insights about the word define, where she broke it down nicely in terms of developing ourselves, and which stood for the letter D, and E for empowerment. And she continued to motivate us to face our challenges and to be inspired as leaders. And I think each and every one of us who is a part of Awlo, we all aspire to see this organization grow in leaps and bounds. And in our second session on the 3rd of July, we had Dr. Marlene Morris presenting or giving us a masterclass on leadership, or being a leader and on the cutting edge. She spoke about authentic leadership and the need to collaborate, to build networks, to build partnerships. And I know each and every one of us here has aspirations to grow their network in our line of businesses or in the work that we do individually and for the organization. So it is very key that we are all here to build those partnerships and to increase our net worth and network, and obviously building on Awlo's key objectives, which is to empower women, to make sure that women take up space in different organizational structures across different working environments. And the last one that we had on the 5th of July, which I missed, and I do apologize for that, was by Chief Mrs. Osasu Guche, who spoke about raising effectiveness for the next generation, which is basically all about leadership. And I'd like for us to welcome our speaker tonight, who is based in Cape Town in South Africa, Mr. Oscar Emetuei, who will be talking around coaching for leadership. By way of introduction, my name is Zanele. I am Awlo VP based in South Africa. And I'd like to welcome everybody that just joined in and that will probably be joining. Do we have Oscar? I don't see him on. Oh, there he is.
I think he's here.
Okay, he's here.
Just waiting for the waiting for the introduction before.
I don't see his video though.
On his video. No, it will come up. It will come when he introduces.
Okay, it will come up. Okay. All right. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that we have Oscar on board. And founder, I think I'll just open the floor to you with a welcome statement for tonight's masterclass. Over to you.
Thank you, Zanele. Thank you very much. We missed you at the last session. And hi, South Africa. How's Johannesburg? Is it cold? It's freezing right now. I know.
It is cold. It is freezing.
I know. Okay. Without wasting much time, before we start, I would like to specially introduce a very dear friend, an amazing leader. I'm talking about His Excellency Macaulay Kalu, the 6th Region AU leader, all the way from Toronto in Canada. You know, I cannot see you and not recognize you. That's a powerful man that is doing great stuff for our continent, and we appreciate you. We'll get to hear your voice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll get to hear your voice, of course, when that time comes on your video. But without wasting much time, I want to thank God for another week. Wow. Just like that. We've entered the second week. It's been great. It's been amazing. Last week was solid, just like the moderator for today. The moderator for today is our VP in South Africa. He's in charge of chapters in South Africa. Zanele, a great woman who is doing so well. We're happy to have you moderate today. You know, because we have a speaker from South Africa, you know, we want to make sure that you guys are truly fully represented. I'm still waiting to see your members from South Africa that are here. I welcome everyone. Unfortunately, as we always do, if you have joined early enough, we'll ask for introductions, but now we'll do that after this, after the time that has been allotted to our speaker. I've seen our Francophone director, I've seen our chairperson, Texas. I've seen a lot of people here, but it's time to allow Zanele to welcome amazing speaker. This is the first he for she speaker. Let me announce this. We'll make sure I told you last week, we're going to give opportunity for our he for she community. And I'm happy that we're bringing a very dynamic member, a strong man who has supported, who believe in gender parity, who have supported the movement strongly. I'm talking about Coach Oscar. He's going to take care of us tonight. It's going to be a masterclass. Trust me. Look at his name, Coach. He's a coach. He's not just anyhow person. So we're going to have fun. Then let me announce this on Wednesday. We're going to give opportunity to our youth council, and we have our youth director coming all the way from Ghana, and she will blow you up. It's going to be amazing. The flyer will be out tomorrow, so you get to know the topic. Of course, on Friday, we're having our Texas chairperson, an amazing woman. It's going to be a loaded week, just as last week. So without wasting much time, let me allow Zanele, I keep missing your name, to officially introduce Coach. And we'll discuss, get to introduce some of our big wigs that are here. I've seen a lot. Tobago, Belempeng, I've seen you. I've seen a lot of our leaders from all around the world. I've seen Wangaza from Tanzania. Fantastic. Everybody is here. So over to you, please. Samira from Canada, I've seen you. Okay, go on.
Thank you. Welcome to those that just joined us. I'd like to warm the seats for our top coach and a business strategist, highly recognized throughout Africa, Coach Oscar, as he's affectionately known. He will be presenting a masterclass tonight. He's very engaging. So please feel free to pop in your comments on our chat room. And also, if you do have questions, you can note them down. I would either read them or you can raise your hands towards the end of a session for a Q&A. We'd like to make this as interactive as possible. So please feel free to store your thoughts in the chat so that we can just revisit them towards the Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our he for she representing Awlo, South Africa, all the way in Cape Town, in windy Cape Town. Welcome, Coach Oscar. I believe we need to add you on as a co-host. Are you able to do that, Doc, on your side?
Just go on the names of the attendants, participants, and then click on my name. I think it's going to be an option. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oscar. Please let us get to know from which city you are joining us from. I'd like to know, I'd like to see you. And also let me recognize His Excellency Dr. Macaulay Carlos. Thank you for gracing me with your presence. And every other person, First Lady in our chat. Celebrative Mass. Thank you so very much for joining, and every other one of you that I just cannot mention your name. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. And please don't forget, the series building at the build up to our 15-year anniversary. Thank you so much. I think it's started now, and I'll pull up my slide. Can you all see my slide, guys? Or are you hearing me?
Your audio is a little bit thick. I think it's not as clear.
Yeah. Your audio is not clear. Yeah, the
Yeah.
audio is not clear at all, and you need to make sure that we got you right. You know, we
Yeah.
don't want to
I
miss
think
anything.
it could be the earphones. It gives like a bubbled up feel audio.
Can you hear me? How good is this?
Okay. Try raising the volume.
Is it better, or I still need to raise my volume? That's my highest.
Much better. Thank you, coach.
Yeah,
All right.
keep it that way, please. Let's go.
All right. Thank you so very much. I want to first of all recognize our founder. Thank you so much for your visionary. And in fact, I will be talking more around your model, the exemplary leadership you laying for us. And then we're just excited to be walking the path, climbing the ladder with you. And thank you for keep pointing us to something more, something big, that we are all excited to plug in our vision, and not just plug in our vision, but we find expression in it. And for me, that is a great attribute of what makes a great leader. My time is gone. So once again, thank you to every one of you joining from every part of the globe that you are represented tonight. One thing I want you to understand is you're not going to leave this, this 1 hour that we're going to be together. You will not leave the same way that you came. For me, I believe something is just going to shift, and your mind will shift. And I think if you take action on the things we're going to share tonight, there will definitely be that progress that you really want. Every leader warm up. Every leader gets set. Let's go. I believe one thing, that what makes us as a great leader is our ability to transform people, ability to help people from where they are, point A, and be able to transport them to point B, where they want to be. But before I get started, I want to simply, my topic is on coaching skills for leaders and managers. I believe there are so many leaders in the room. There are managers, there are business owners, there are entrepreneurs, there are employees and people occupying leadership position. And just in case you think you're not occupying one, if you're a father, you're a mother, you are a leader. Okay, let us say you are a young person and you don't belong. Somehow you are a role model to someone. So I'm speaking to you tonight. So in a way of introduction, let's just go, and I trust that God will give us grace tonight. So now, how do we move from where we are to where we want to be? That's the most important thing. And also, leaders are people who help people to achieve their goals. Leaders are people who help people see transformation in their lives. Leaders are not selfish. Leaders are people who give in themselves. They lay themselves as a sacrifice. Leaders are a ladder that people climb on. That's why if you're a leader, people can say so many things about you. People can misinterpret even your well-intended thought. People can misinterpret your good heart. So in a nutshell, a leader is a person that bears or sacrifice. If you've ever been a leader, you will know people have spoken behind the scene. They talk so many things about you. If you haven't given up, you still keep going. Why are you doing that? You're doing it because you are a leader. You're doing it because there's something just about who you are that you, irrespective of what you told, you cannot let go. You just cannot see the other person go down. And when it is in your power, your ability, your scope to help. Now, how do we take this leadership, this ability to manage into coaching? How do you now see? One thing I need to be very clear about is being a leader, you're indirectly a coach. Of course, being a coach does not automatically mean you'll be a good leader or a better leader. And also, just being a leader doesn't mean you're going to be a better coach. But I believe the quality of coaching is that you are able to be patient with people. You are able to help people fulfill themselves. So there's a way coaches think.
There's a way coaches speak. There's a way coaches behave. Now, this is what drives leadership, and all of these are all summed up in what makes you a leader. So we'll be dealing around what I call part of the behavior of a good leader. We'll also be looking into the behavior that support coaching, question asking skills. Now, as a leader, you need to have that active listening skill. It's an underrated weapon. It's something most people don't like to talk about. But if you're not able to listen, you will not be able to lead. And I'm going to tell you why shortly. Why a good leader needs to ask good questions. Why good leaders needs to understand even the people they are leading. All of this makes you a better leader. Here's what I mean. But who am I? Like you've heard from the introduction, I'm a transformational specialist. I help you amplify your reach, extend your impact, and grow your leadership, your business. I belong to the Coaching and Mentors Association of South Africa. That's the professional body that regulates coaches and their mentors in South Africa. And like some of you that followed me, you may have seen me on TV, on newspaper, and all of those media stuff. I've received an award also, a top 50 thought leader by Thinkers 360, top 100 thought leader in entrepreneurship. There's another one that I didn't even mention, People's Home among the top leadership experts to watch out for. Now, I made the top 50 list. Now, it's not about me tonight. It's about you. It's not about what I have accomplished. It's about what I can help you accomplish. Why am I saying that? Every person, irrespective of who you are, there's always the next level. There's always a next level to where we want to achieve or get to. So we never achieved enough. But how do I know that there's so much more? And why should you not try to measure yourself with comparing with the next person? That's not the person to measure your success with. You measure your success with your potential, with your God-given gifts, with who and the purpose God puts you in this world. No one is purposeless. No one is into this world just to be or by chance. We are all here on assignment, and the earlier we're able to discover and then start living that dream. So you now see how you measure your leadership. You're not going to measure your leadership by the people around you. So I better pass my neighbor, common populace in Nigeria, because I have this bigger gen and he has a smaller one. You don't measure yourself by that. You measure yourself by what is my potential. I will shock you that most of us are living beneath. In fact, the highest we scratch is just 10% of who we can become. But let's leave that for another day. So here is what I want to talk about tonight. Coaching, leading definitely come with added pressure. Now, you also know that it's not easy to lead. So if I sit here and tell you that leading is an easy task, then I lie. I'll say it up front, I've learned. By grace, I'm the National Deputy President of Nigerian Citizen in South Africa. I also assumed a position as the Media Director, and I've led in churches. I've led a group even while I was in the varsity. So at different levels in my life, I have learned. I understand what it means to lead. And that's why every good, experienced leader hardly criticizes. Good leaders don't talk much because they wore the shoe. They know how it is. Even if you're just a family man, you know the responsibility of leading your family. I can tell you, I know what it takes to just get my 3 beautiful girls to go to bed just so I could have a good, peaceful night. I know what it is. I know how I have to negotiate. I know how to lobby. I have to promise Daddy's going to buy you this, anything you want. Daddy will just give you this if you go to bed. And don't promise me that you're not going to disturb Daddy. Now, what is happening here is leadership. Otherwise, you'll be amazed. They will barge in here and then just want to talk to me. I remember one of my sessions during COVID. I was in a live session with 300 people live, and my kid just walked in. Daddy, I'm talking to you. You're not listening to me. You know what that means? So ever since I now know what to do, so I could have a peaceful session. Why am I saying this? You are a leader, irrespective of where you find yourself. But you have to now bring in the core of coaching skills. What are the things that makes up a good coach? A good coach is a person that could actually listen. I'm not talking about like some of you will do right in this room. Just be present, but not truly hear. You can be actively on, but you are busy doing something else. You could be actively present, but you're really not participating. You could be actively here, but you're not in any way showing that you were here. The core things you will never, any accomplished coach you will ever find globally anywhere is that they are able to listen actively, being present in the conversation, being present in the room. They think, not because they want to think for themselves, they think also trying to think, how can I help? They're not thinking to respond, they're thinking to understand. I'll tell you why I share this. They speak the same way, knowing fully well that words are powerful. Your word can either make or destroy. Words can either uplift people or word can devastate people. That is how you say to someone, go to hell. And it looks so much like hell is a fun place to be. But there's also how you say, go to hell, and you know what could follow next. So these are the cardinal core skills of a coach. So if you are a leader and you do not know how best to speak, how to think, or your thinking is all just about you, or you're not listening, or you're just there but you're not present, you need to change. But let's go again. What do you need to know as a leader? Now I'm teaching you incorporating a coaching skill into your leadership capability. Here's something you need to understand. We all have needs. We are being driven by our needs. Every person you preside over, you rule over, or you exercise authority or influence over, everyone have needs. And we will always find a way to get those needs met, whether it's by healthy or unhealthy way. We all have needs. That's the reason you left your house this morning, probably go to work. That's the reason you do the things you do. That's the reason you take up leadership position. The truth is, or the reality is, we all have a need. There's something in the inside of us that is chasing us. But here we can summarize all our behavior into 4 things. Number 1, the need to be right. The need to be liked. The need to be recognized or seen. The need to win. Now, you cannot lead in isolation. You cannot lead in ignorance. You cannot just be in front and no one is following. That's not leadership. So one thing is key. We will always get our needs met. We will always find a way around it. I said to people who are always pouring out excuses why they can't do a thing, it is because they don't truly need it enough. How do I know that? You don't need to know how to swim. If you find yourself in a pool and you know survival is it, you will about drowning. You will beat that water. You will do something about it. All right. Now, these are these needs that forms our behavior. This needs forms a pattern on how we deal with people and what we do. Now, because we will always go for what we want, we will, whether we get it or not, we will make effort. People are always making effort to get what they want. And that's because, one, they do that because they truly want the change they are looking for. No one wants to just sit there and not get a change. So what do? How, as a leader, can you help people achieve or find expression in themselves? Here's Awlo, here's Dr. Elisha, who founded this vision. I'm sure he didn't bring up this idea because he has the best and the most brilliant ideas. No, he was driven by passion. And then he needed a team to work with him. And assembling this team, he gave people the opportunity to express their leadership. That's why you have chapter presidents. That's why you have different country representatives, he for she. Now, everyone is coming on board to find expression in this one global vision of empowering women. Everyone as a man, as a he for she, we're on board so we can support, just so our women don't get so empowered. And what happened to the men? So we all find expression in this one idea that he put forward, and he gave everyone the opportunity to show up what they've got. Now, I needed to understand why it is important to understand people's behavior, that people in a desperation to be right can do anything. People can put some other people down just to achieve that goal called that they want to be right, especially when they have history of maybe being wrong or being treated in a wrong way. Or maybe something happened to them and they were victimized. So every second opportunity they get, they say, no, I'm not going to play with this. I'm not going to toy with this opportunity. That drives their dealings. That drives their engagement, their pursuit, and the desire to be right. The same thing is applicable when people want to be liked. They will put down any other person standing in their way. They will even climb on people's head just to get recognition. And you will ask, but what does that really mean to them? It means something. That's because people are driven by something. That you were not being driven to be liked doesn't mean some other person is not thinking differently. That you're not driven by, I want to win at all cost, doesn't mean that the other people are not driven by that. And because we cannot all be one thing, we cannot react the same way. I mean, life is going to be boring. As a leader, it's just going to be boring if all of us act a certain way, one part. It's going to be boring. So I believe that the diversity in our leadership is also unique to make our world a fun place to be. So there are some leaders, I remember my days in the bank, some leaders just come to the office, it's not so rigid, it's always having fun. I remember my guy, Emeka, then in the office, we cannot just wait for 4 p.m. So we lock the door to clients or customers. And then poop, we just either eat and be drinking and just have fun right inside the workplace. But I've also worked with people who are very rigid and you just don't like the workplace. Can I say this to every leader listening to me tonight? People don't quit organization because they want to just quit. In fact, most people quit because there are bad leaders, bad managers that they don't want to sit with. So here I'm just going to share a few tips with you tonight. How you can incorporate the thinking style, the speaking, the listening way as a coach so you can help transport people from point A to point B. I mean, the most important thing that will ever happen to anyone is to recount how you led them to where they've always wanted to be. Come on, let's just, if you will agree with me, please give me some emoji, type and just confirm this with me. Can you look back? Is there a time you can look back, maybe right now, that someone gave you an opportunity that you haven't forgotten? Is there anyone like that? I just want to know, has someone ever given you an opportunity in life that you look back today, you can say, wow, had I not met XYZ, had I not met this, I remember this was the turning point in my life, in my career, because I encountered XYZ. I don't forget my former MD in the bank. When I wrote my second book, Thriving in the Marketplace, I made my first million. This was many years ago with just a launch of less than 300 books. One guy single-handedly showed up in the launch and then gave me a check of that. I'm like, woo, how possible could this be? Do you think in a long while I will forget that? I won't forget that. So there are people who have been very pivotal in our growth, in our trajectory to go up or achieving success. Someone has been playing that vital role. So as a leader, what are you playing? What role are you fulfilling? But again, you will not be able to play or understand how to help them go from point one to point two if you don't know what drives them, why they act the way they do. So now let's go into, I think I'm just going to share 5, 6 pointers that you can incorporate as a good leader. One of them is be a gardener and not a detective. Now you will understand that if you've done a little garden, you'll be jealous how you nurture your plant to grow. So how my little kids just get excited when we plant that little plant behind our garden at the back. Every morning, every evening, they just want to see the seed grow. To the kids, they wish that the seed can grow overnight. I don't know how many of you have such kids. When they just plant a seed of corn, they keep going, Daddy, why is it not coming up? Why is it not happening? Now, as a leader or manager or someone who has some level of influence over people, be a gardener. Ordinary people is like a fast-twitch building of muscles. It's like a debt. There are things you do that makes people resent you. And they will always want to hit you back, revenge, come back at you if you were a dictator. But if you come to people or approach people, even as a leader, take down your title, take down your position, and tell people, come on, let's just try, let's just relate as human, let's just be human. At this point, you are forming partnership. You're making deposit by educating and empowering them to create a plan. You first of all telling them, I'm like you. Nothing has really changed. That's the empathy everyone wants to see in every leader. They want to understand first and foremost that you're not far from us. You're not from somewhere else and then we are from the earth and you maybe from Mars. They want to understand that you are same blood like them. Number 2, meet them where they are. A coach who thinks that he wants to grow people. I want to see transformation. A leader who takes excitement in believing that someone cannot grow me. Can I tell you, every leader here, your position is nothing but seasonal. You will not be there forever. It doesn't matter, even if you are the founder of that organization, you will not be there forever. At some point, if it is not death, you will retire. At some point, you wouldn't be so strong to do everything yourself. So at some point, you're going to go. And what do? Meet people where they are. A wholesale behavior change doesn't work. Don't believe that people can just be transformed overnight. That's why the first point was be a gardener. A gardener is the one that nurtures and believes there's potential. Identify the low-hanging and remove any forms of friction that makes people doesn't want to relate to you. As a leader, I understand what boundaries are. But at some point, it's not just about boundaries. It's about, I want to see someone transform. Believing that small, little step, people can grow. For number 3, now I need you to understand that success, what people think it looks like, and you who are successful, what it really looks like is not the same. How do you help people shift this perspective? How do you help them see things differently? How do you help them understand that it's not just about this way? It could be better. It could be different. That's what you do as a leader, helping people see things differently. That's what we do in coaching. We don't tell you what to do. We listen to you. We help you formulate a plan, not because we give you the idea. We know that everyone is gifted. There's always that thing. Perhaps what the greatest thing a coach does is to awaken your blind spot. Every one of us have blind spots. Everyone. Don't let anyone tell you he's all knowing. We all have blind spots. But it takes you working with a great coach to be able to find that out. Number 3, be non-judgmental. Have you ever been in a space where you feel judged? Maybe because of your beliefs, because of your color of your complexion, for whatever reason. No one wants to be associated with a space where they feel less than who they should be. So the path to change and improvement is anything but a straight line. Progress is never without setbacks. So rather than judge people, how about you help them fail forward? Remember I talked about in your journey, doesn't matter how high you are right now, there are people who played some pivotal role in your growth. You made mistakes. So what you do when people find themselves maybe feeling judged, just be relatable. So in coaching, while you tell us your story, and some moments you see people break down and pour themselves out, we tell them, myself, I've been there. I understand what it means to be broken. And yeah, it's good to allow people to really break themselves. Let them just pour it out. If you can tell someone that I truly relate, I know how it ought, and just show compassion. If you cannot, but just show compassion. Be human. So number 3, let's move on. Time will be running. Number 4, we look at rooted in relationship. There's this powerful quote that have driven me most part of my life. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So it's not about what you know. It's about how do you care? Do you truly care? That's what people are after. That's what people want to see in relationship. They want to see are you just like us or you are different from us? Am I like you or what is it? So nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Guys, let me know if you're still hearing me and that we're still connected and that I'm not talking to myself. Give me that emoji if you've been inspired.
I can't hear you.
Come on, guys, let's go. So all credentials in this world will not earn you any trust. If you like get all the highest, set the highest record in life, it will not give you any form of trust. So what will? Taking an active interest in people's life and connecting with them, just trying to be human. That is what earns you trust. And don't forget, I always say this word if you've been following me. People do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So let your leadership be rooted in relationship. You cannot fake it because people will sense if you are not authentic. People sense it even from afar. So do all you can, build relationship. So point number 5, fit into their life. It's not helpful to lay out the perfect plan. Nobody has a perfect plan. Life is a roller coaster. So what do? Try and fit into people's life. Don't forget why I talked about people's needs that drives them. Help them build a perfect life that they want. Help them to see themselves in the big picture. Don't forget, people always ask the question, but what is in it for me? Not until they answer that question or you help them answer that question, their participation in your leadership will be like just you. They do it because they get paid, maybe. They do it just because of eye service. So number 5, let's go. Point number 6, I don't know how I jumped this. Put them first. Now you understand what drives people. Now you understand how people behave. Like I said in the beginning, you cannot lead in isolation. So as a leader, invest your time in knowing the people that you lead. Spend time to understand, put them first. It's not about you. It will never be about you. It's all about their success. There are people you don't forget. So it's all about what you do to them at the level you met them, how you help them or how you destroy them. Coaching, what you do is also understanding what they do and being able to help them figure out that maybe their action is not moving them forward to where they want to be, or their action somehow is putting them too far, the opposite, where they want to be. All of their failures are because of you, because you are the leader. So the sooner you realize, the bigger the impact you start to have. Let's go to number, I think should be number 7 here. Reflect before you react. As a leader, as a coach doesn't just act. A lot of you watch soccer, you watch rugby, cricket, Euro is ongoing. The coach don't play the game. The coach stand by the side. And sometimes you see when the coach is not seeing the result he wants, he knows what to do at a point in time to build the entire team. So reflect before you react. Is your frustration with them actually a product of your shortcoming? If no, own it. If yes, own it. Leaders, like I said in the beginning, make sacrifices. Leaders, they lay their life for others to just work on them. I call leaders the bridge builder. So the only way to influence people's action by finding a way to control yours, reflect on your own action, and see how your action, your words, your thoughts, how they shape those people's life, how they move them forward to accomplish their career goal. That's the kind of coach you need to be. Now, I think I repeat number 6. Yes, take down this. It should be number 8. Ride the high and the low. Don't be the kind of leader that only just criticize. It's never always good. You take away the energy from people, and people around you cannot even aspire. They can't dream. You sap vision and ambition out of people. No, as a coach, they are considerate. Coach understands what the people go through. Coach think and understands words that needs to go out of their mouth, just so they are able to either uplift the people and not damage their reputation. So think constant, be gentle, stop applying too much pressure. Above all, stay consistent and be kind to them. Now, your duty as a leader coach, is to uplift your team. That's your number one priority. Now, recently I shared something. Businesses that prioritize profits, prioritize customers over their team, they always run out of business. You know why? When you take care of your team, when you build people in your business, they take care of your customers. They take care of everything around you. So, when you give, it has so much ripple effect that it comes back to you and it opens even bigger doors for you. So be a coach, leader, or a manager that seeks at all times to empower people. I don't know how you're going to do it. Leaders go the extra mile. I don't know how you want to do it. Leaders care. I don't know how you're going to do it. Leaders take their blame. Don't be the kind of leader that always look out for the glory. Yes. The defeat. No, I was not there. Are you that type of leader? Leaders own both. They fail together. They succeed, wow, they share the crown together. This is all I want to share with you tonight. And please don't forget, it is all about the compassion that you have. It's about the mindset with which you lead. It's not position, not a title. It's first of all seeing transformation in people's life. Here's what I want to say before I take your question in summary. Leading and managing people, as well as exercising influence over them, is an art that needs to be learned. If you go on a definition or to research or read about what an art is all about, an art is a skill that is acquired by experience, by study, by observation, over time. So it requires that you learn new skills if you must be a better leader. Have a strong desire to study about people, to truly understand what drives Martin, not just the salary. Not just the salary. What is it that drives them? What are they being driven by? They're not going to tell you, except you come to where they are. And regardless of the path that they take, win it or whatever it is, underneath they are driven by the need to be a part of something that is bigger. That's why, Lord, some of us are here. We want to see Awlo, African women in leadership, go to the next level. It's not about the visionary leader, Dr. Elisha, and the team. It's about that we are coming in as a team player. We're finding expressions in transforming people's lives. That's why we put up this leadership series, to better you. So if you're a leader, you need to invest in your learning. You need to invest more in understanding people's key, your emotional intelligence. So you understand what drives the people that I lead. What sort of community do they want to find belonging in? Where do they see themselves? Are they seeing themselves as adding value to the team, or they are seeing themselves as just a salary that connects all of us? What do they see of themselves in your organization, in your leadership space? For me, that is the most important thing that every leader needs to be driven by. The transformation you bring in people's life, the shifting that you bring in their life, that moment that makes them better than the last time you met them. I want to pause here. If you have a question, please feel free. 30 minutes is not enough. This is something we do in 3 days workshop. We do in mastermind for maybe probably 6 weeks. So I try to just break this down into this few minutes. And please let me know if you learned something. And if you have any question, I'm here to take the question. Please go ahead. Thank you so very much for your time. And I look forward to your question. Dr. Elisha, over to you.
Thank you. Can you exit remove your screen?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. The moderator is here. They have some questions, please.
Wow. Thank you, Coach. Let me see if there's any. Sorry, I lost my connection a bit. Are there any hands from the floor?
Get off this.
Yes, I would like to ask a question, please.
Thanks, Safi.
Yes. My question is, can I see the fourth behavior, please?
Ah.
No, the fifth one, fifth.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the slide for you again. Just continue.
Yes, I have a question on the fifth.
Can you ask the question, please?
Go ahead with the question. I'll come back with the slide.
Oh, is that how the fifth is basically how you write high and low, right?
Yes.
So how you get connected to the people you manage?
All right.
Okay, can you introduce yourself and where you're reaching us from, please?
Can you repeat that, please?
Can we know you?
Oh, my name is Safi. I'm calling from Mali.
Oh, okay, okay. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Number 5 was how to fit in. Is that the question? Fit into their lives. Is that?
Yes. Yes.
All right. You fitting into their lives like this, how you relate with people, that they could feel your authenticity. Remember, like I said, you can never fake it. And people could sense when you were being fake even from afar. So it's always about you coming first and foremost as a human. We're all human in the first place. No one is from the mass. So what can you do to truly understand or come down to their level? We all leaders and leaders that lead know to some extent the people that they are leading. So you need to understand, how do I get to their level? How do I fit in? I'm not saying go and be probably party, visit, but if that is what you can do, why not? There are different leadership skills. So I'm not going to say to you that there's one style of leadership that you should adopt. First and foremost, find the unique one that aligns with who you are. But what is important is, as a leader, as a bridge, as a ladder to someone going to the next level, how do I fit into this person's life? So you need to understand that person, what drives the person, what guides his behavior, why does he act the way he does or she does. Now, once you understand that, I'm sure you'll be able to build that plan that works around that. So like I said, as a coach, one of the things we do is not necessarily telling you what to do. We sit with you to truly understand, what is it you want? What is the dream? What is the vision? Why are you here? Now, when you understand why they're there, what the big goal is, you will then understand, okay, the actions you are taking, maybe it's not leading you to where you need to go, or probably it's taking you there. And then you start helping to carve that bridge. We all living or working on experience. Nobody can reinvent the wheel. So that's why when you see what worked for A, we all copying success. We like to emulate people that are successful. We follow that blueprint. That's the duty of a leader, to help people achieve their goal. I'm not sure. I don't know if I answered your goal. I see many hands up here.
Okay, so it's like you have to find a personal time for each of your people, right? And know them personally.
100%. 100%. If that works for you, you can depend on the scale of your group. Some lead a team that is big, but again, it depends on that group that you lead. And if it needs you to even schedule one-on-one with your team, why not do that? Be driven by the desire to make
Thank you,
impact.
Coach. Yeah, I think you've answered that question.
Thank
you.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Precious Gilbert. I'm calling from Abuja. Thank you, Coach Oscar. I'm really impressed and I've learned a lot. But I have, in the case where you run a company, you are top executive, and you have people at the bottom of the ladder, and you have those in the midway and those at the top executive. Now you're trying to carry everybody along. And as a leader, you're looking at a way where you can let the people at the bottom of the pyramid know that, oh, you can also become top executive someday. You try to coach them, try to train them, try to make them see the needs to develop themselves, capacity building in whatever way you can. And now it's looking like, okay, she's driving me crazy, or I don't know how to put it, maybe she's making me work too hard. They don't see the vision you're seeing. They don't understand what you're saying. You are trying to make them see you can actually grow. You can bring yourself to the top level. Now, I quite understand when you say fit into their life, but I'm looking at it the other way around, where they don't understand the language you're speaking. You're trying to make them see reasons to develop themselves. And they're like, maybe because of, I wouldn't say, I would say lack of self-confidence or something. So how do you build that into them? How do you fit into their life at that level?
Amazing
I
question.
understand my question?
Yes, amazing question. Amazing one.
Thank you.
That's one reason why I said this question is unique and it's indeed amazing. For me, it comes down to this behavioral of people's life. If you lead people and you get to understand their behavior, it makes the work easy. For example, you just said something that was very critical. Maybe something like low self-esteem. In that way, now you know what the problem is, because as a leader, you're foresighted. In fact, leaders are visionaries. They see farther even before the others could see. Now, you have identified one thing, low self-esteem. Of course, when people have that, they're not themselves, they cannot really, it doesn't matter how much you push them. So what do you do at that point in time is to invest in that thing, in their confidence building capacity. Whatever it is, I'm using that as an example. And another thing I need to mention here is this. Even as a coach, not everyone are coachable. I have to say that, maybe like a disclaimer. Not everyone. As a coach, in our business, we don't take everyone in our coaching programs. We don't do that. In fact, we have what we call the pre-qualifying questions. We make people go through just to get into our coaching program. Why? Not everyone are coachable. Now, how do you translate this leading a team? I know one thing as a leader is leaders don't give up too easily. And that's what coaches do. We don't give up on people too easily. But if you're able to understand what the need is, what the concern is, everybody will not change, will not attain the height you want them to grow to at the same time. Some are very slow learners. There are those you just need to be patient with while you walk them through the path. So it's on you, the onion is on you to find how best to handle that. But it's good, like you said, identifying, okay, this is what I perceive as the problem. Then try to remedy that. That way, you're already solving a problem. So when you speak or say something next time, the person can connect with you on the same level. But not until you resolve that problem, you might never be able to help. Again, this is not what we can do in just 35 more minutes. So it's something we have like minimum 3 days so we can actually break those blocks or bring those blocks together to build them together. I don't know if I answer your question.
Sure, you did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's hear from
We had
Pastor
Pastor Messi and Maureen.
Yeah.
If we can just be brief with the questions, and same to you, Coach, with the responses, so that we can squeeze everybody in. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you so much.
5 minutes. We have 5 minutes.
My question is actually the reverse of what Precious just asked. Let's say you are a middle manager and you have a supervisor who is basically a manager, not a leader. Then you have people underneath you who are not following up and they don't see the vision. You as a middle person, you are a leader and you are trying to bring the team to understand what is going on and what they need to do. And your manager is not understanding what you are doing. How do you go about that?
Thank you so much. Another tricky and anyway, another brilliant question. Someone asked me that question in Tanzania some time ago. I did a leadership training for a team of bank executive. You will always get to find these in the workplace. Guys, let me also just say this. From the experience over nearly 15 years I've been doing these consulting trainings, I understand that everybody will not always be at the same par with you. But what do? As a leader, like I did say, it's for you to understand what is the problem with this person. Once you understand what the problem is, then you can now find a solution that will be tailored to address that issue. You can't solve it in isolation. It will not go on its own. So somehow, yes, there are people who could serve like even a sabotage. not even wanting to see what you're seeing. So long as you understand that that problem exists, then the next thing is to, how do I deal with this? And again, remember, as a coach that you are, you need patience to grow people. I think that's all I was thinking. Did I answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah, we had Maureen and Samira.
Okay, can I go on?
Please
Yes.
do.
My name is Maureen. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada, and I want to thank Coach Oscar for a very insightful section, and permit me to say that it's very timely. This section is very timely as we approach the 15th anniversary of Awlo. So thank you very much, Coach Oscar. My question, I've listened very attentively in this section today, and I'm much elated to be here. My question is just a very simple one. Where is the place of personal boundaries? And at what point do you pull out the boundaries? Because having listened to you is all about people taking into cognizance their personal dispositions, their goals, their aspirations, their makeups, just to be a good leader. So at what point as a leader do you pull out the personal boundary things so that you can also have your breath as human being in a leadership role? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maureen. Another very powerful question you asked there. And I agree with you, let the leader breathe. Don't you agree? Let leader breathe. The truth is this, I will always say to people, boundaries is very important. You cannot be boundaryless. Boundaries is important. But again, just like you have your child, I will always refer any leader who probably sometimes having issues around leadership. If you are a Christian like me, please try and go serve in your children department. That way, sometimes you get to learn some very important lessons working with those little people. Because for them, it's not what you say, it's what you do. So at what point do you pull that boundary up? Sure. Even while dealing with people, you need to tell people, you read it out if you want to read it out up front. There must be to do. There are things you cannot compromise on. So you have to affirm those. So that we say as a leader, go down to that level. As a leader, try to pull everyone up. Like I've said, you can't pull everyone. You're not Jesus Christ, so don't even try to do one. You can only pull the ones who are willing to be pulled, all right? So yes, it's good to put your boundaries in place. More than that, the reason why we're here tonight is to think as a coach leader, is to speak as a coach leader, is to act in a way that uplifts people. So yes, you can pull up your boundaries, let your people understand your yes is your yes, your no is your no. And the ability you help them to understand this is also a leadership skill that also needs to be learned. I don't know if I did answer your question, Maureen.
You did. Thank you very much. That was a very smart one. Thank you.
Any other question, or we're good to go?
Samira.
Okay, thank you very much. I just had a simple question, Coach Oscar. I really was impressed with the exact instructions and the importance of developing your own personal leadership. I guess I could just, maybe you could emphasize more, biggest challenges, being a woman leader, and a kind of understanding that, you have to really kind of understand, depending on where you're coming from in the world. Sometimes just showing up as a leader, especially as a female, you can come across a lot of obstacles. But what can you say that can support one to feel that, you're on the right track and you're doing something that can support a community and build them up? Is there anything you can suggest about that? And also, I would like to, if you can put up your slide for how to get in touch with you again, that would be great too. Thank you.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, I'm going to pull up that slide. For me, firstly, just like Dr. Elisha, I'm very passionate about women, passionate about women development. I think mine started from the womb because I do have a twin sister, and I'm a proud father of three amazing girls. So I understand what it is. The one thing I say to my wife while we probably talk about family is this: don't want to do anything, and I will, as a father, resist anything that takes away the confidence, the power of my three girls' child. I need them to be on top of themselves. So what I can say here is educate women around you, empower them. It all begins from the mind. Sometimes the limitation is tied to the belief, the culture, the environment, how they perceive. But we're today in a global world where people could learn from afar online and all of that. So I will encourage more women. That's why I'm excited to see more women on this platform, more women joining Awlo. It is important we get to enlighten more about women to take their rightful place. No one is better than you. No one is more intelligent, smart, or brave than you. Stand your ground. I think that's all I want to say. Stand your ground, keep showing up, keep just being that person you want to be. I think that's what is important than being led by the belief of culture, tradition. To be very honest, some cultures can be very, very demeaning. You don't want to be in that space. So how do you deal with that? Educate yourself, empower yourself, read more, find mentors and role models that you can emulate and walk in their path. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, that was very nice. Thank you so much.
Any other questions, guys?
That should be it. That should be it for tonight.
Awesome.
Zanila, can you take it up and
Thank you very much, Coach Oscar. That was very insightful. Is a comment from Maureen, and so many other participants tonight. Thank you to each and every one of you for making time. We meet again on the continuation of the Leadership Hangout. The next one will be on Wednesday. Look out for the poster and please share as far as possible. We encourage everybody to join us again on Wednesday, same time. The speaker details or the masterclass details will be shared on the various platforms. And thank you so, so much, Oscar. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Elisha. Any closing words from you?
Yes. I need to, first of all, I have to appreciate my champion, Oscar. That was a good one, I must say. I've learned a lot too. 1 second, please. Let me put that. Yeah, I've learned a lot, and I want to congratulate everyone that make out time to join this particular session, and because you need the skills to lead your even your business, your organization, even at home. And you've shared. Hey, can you please mute? Okay. So you've taken us through a leadership journey that has been so impactful, and I want to congratulate everyone once again for making our time to celebrate this 15th anniversary in a good way. I'm just so excited about this, and I've seen people that have joined us right from the July 1st till today. And like I said, at the end of it, on the 20th of July, something different, something definitely there must be that positive shift in your mindset as leaders. You know, we've taken so much from these great leaders they've cooked and we've shared in this word of knowledge. And I believe there's no better way for us to celebrate the 15 years anniversary of this very particular movement. So I love all the speakers. I love you, Oscar. You've been there from the very first day you joined this movement. You've been very committed. And I'm not surprised what God is doing in your life. And so at this point, there are some of our members. In 5 minutes, I just want to recognize them. Some of them have been with us from July 1st, and I didn't even mention their name. I can see my patroness, Maureen Omokomio. So good to see you. I always call you the last woman standing. You're always there. And I can see that people have worked so hard, selflessly, to make sure that we remain excellent in whatever we're doing. And I can see our head of graphics, who has worked so hard, all the beautiful flyers you're seeing. He's been working. Sometimes I call him 1 a.m. to work. And I'm happy that he's also in the session to learn and to take his, what he's doing to the next level. Pedro, I've seen you. I've seen our chairperson, DMV. DMV is Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland. Bumi, I've seen you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I want to also appreciate Safi Samake from Mali. Mali have a very proactive chapter. They're working so hard to
Thank
meet
you.
up. Yeah, good to see you. I know there are other members of Mali who are here. Sorry, not Mali, yeah. Francophone countries. Okay, Fatoumata, Diara, I've seen you.
Hello, everyone.
At the UN, of course. So I know I want to believe my wife is still here. The First Lady, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you do for this organization. Faye Greaves, our great director, protocol director from Awlo, Canada. I've seen you. I've seen, our VP Canada, Patricia, I can see you. I don't know.
Hello. I said, I'm on the highway as I'm joining that, guys. Hi, everybody. I'm on the highway driving.
Please concentrate. Yeah. Just drive carefully.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, we've heard you. Thank you very much. Please just concentrate. Thank you. I'm looking for. I saw. Jamie C, I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen Jamie C. These are US team members. Is it Lorna? Lorna Mollison, are you in the house? Atlanta. Okay. I've seen D from UK. I've seen you. Victoria Joma, I've seen you. Ivy, I've seen you. And of course, so many people, man. I've seen everyone. Please, you can drop something on the chat box, your name, where you're reaching out from. I promise that we won't be staying more than 1 hour. We'll stay 15 minutes after. So I wouldn't want to keep you because it's late for those who are in Africa. And so I've seen, Madam Mary Makoha, can you just say hello all the way from Kenya? A strong woman doing great stuff. I've seen you. I see you. Engineer Fio Robert, I see you once again. Ima Rio, I've seen you. Everybody, please, let's meet on Wednesday. The hall is always open by 7:45, so you can join in. That time we can interact. That's the time we interact and we get to know each other and all that. But this time that we're closing, it's not really a good time to drag it.
Nobody get my cushion.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay, so thank you so much. But I would still like, His Excellency, I've left. Oscar, I didn't see Carlo again. I was looking for him.
I'm not sure if he's here.
Yeah, he's not here. I've been looking. I've seen Musa. These are our Malian members, I guess. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people. Please, I really appreciate everyone. We continue this amazing celebration on Wednesday. Don't miss it. Wednesday is gonna be so great. We're gonna sit down and also hear from the youth council member representing the youth. We're talking ourselves, we're calling ourselves leaders. You can't even actually say you're a leader if you don't have programs to raise the next generation leaders. So let's also, part of the celebration, all sessions of Awlo must be represented. And we have an amazing lady all the way from Ghana. We will unveil her tomorrow. You don't want to miss that session. You will love it, trust me. And we're going to learn a lot from that angle. So I want to say thank you very much for the time. I would still like Maureen, if you are free, I would check our patroness to just close us in 1 minute so that we can go. We need to hear your voice.
Good evening, all. I want to really appreciate. I want to appreciate first Coach Oscar for the wonderful, insightful teaching. I thank Dr. Elisha. Of course, you are #1 leader. You are leading by example. Thank you for putting this together. I want to appreciate every one of us that made it to tonight. We have to keep learning and keep raising the bar. So this was a good outing, thoughtful of Dr. Elisha. So we appreciate and we hope that we'll all turn in again next week on Wednesday so that we can meet again. Thank you very much. I'm actually in the middle of something. I just had to be part of this session this evening. Thank you.
I'm happy you're not driving on the highway. So I love that.
No.
I've seen Christina. Is this my Chicago chairperson?
No, this is Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you. I've seen my Enugu chairperson, Ugechiku Vivian. You're hiding. I just saw that surname now. Good to see you. Thank you so much. So good night, everyone. You can share your contact with each other, and you can also chat up with Coach Oscar. If you are Awlonian, definitely the presentation will be shared on the global community. So you check the community, you will get it. And for those who have not joined Awlo, it's time for you to join. We're giving you free sessions now, leadership training, workshops, and of course, master classes that we're running. This is what we're going to enjoy, being part of this great organization. But for those members, just check the platform, all the details you need to know. Coach Oscar is there too. He's a full registered Awlo member, so you're going to get to meet him too. So, Daniele, thank you so much for very wonderful moderating, as usual. I appreciate you.
Thank you, founder. I think we can just leave you can play us some nice music. Please play nice amapiano music. This is a South African presentation, so we'd like to hear.
Yeah. We've been doing that, but today I was not looking for my boss speaker that I always use. I left it in the office.
How unfortunate.
I left it in the office. Yeah, but tomorrow on Wednesday, trust me.
On Wednesday. Yeah, we can have a little. I think on the last session we can have an online party just to celebrate the milestone leading up to.
We're doing that on the 20th.
Yeah. So like you said, by the time these sessions end, everybody should be transformed in one way or another, And just to touch on Coach Oscar's sentiments earlier on, that this is where the real transformation begins. And thank you.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. I think we'll leave